Is 20 years adequate time served for a murder convict? Family members of one of the victims killed over 2 decades ago are angered at the parole board hearing of 2 murder convicts, alleging a miscarriage of justice for their slain loved one. A relative in distress spoke to News Force about the killing of her family member, whose murderer was granted parole at the historic parole board hearing last week.
Having to tell people what I went through, what my family went through, was dredging memories again, painful memories that we live with every day, but doing it all over again just seemed like the first day that my dad was killed.
The family member says the parole officer reached out sometime earlier in the year requesting an impact statement from the family.
They contacted me and asked me to email them the impact statement, at which time I told them that I am very much willing. Please let me know what the process is going on, and I am ready and will do everything I can to be there because I want my dad's voice to be heard through his children. And this is just ridiculous that this person took my father's life senselessly for his own money, his hard-earned money, and took his life, took him away from us. During the trial itself, there was absolutely no remorse from these guys. There was absolutely nothing. Throughout this entire 20 years, we've never received anything to say, I am sorry for what I did and what it may have done to your family. Absolutely nothing.
The distraught relative says the family was ready to provide the necessary testimony on the impact of the death on loved ones. However, she alleges that the lack of timely confirmation of the date of the hearing worked against family members' attendance.
The first week in December, I got another WhatsApp text from the parole officer telling me that there will be a hearing in December, but we do not have a date. My response to him was like, I'm appreciative that you're telling me this, but telling me that you don't have a confirmed date is not helping me because we're in the midst of a pandemic. I live in the US. There's no way I am able to just pick up and jump on the flights and be able to be at this hearing.
A 24-hour notice was allegedly given to family to be present at the Body Lake Correctional Facility for the parole hearing, which took place on December 16, 2020. For this relative, it is hard to reconcile the vivid memories etched in the recesses of her mind regarding the behavior of the convicted killer in the courtroom many years ago.
When they were taking this guy away at the time, and he used his 2 fingers and pointed at me in a gesturing, firing a gun at me. And this was the only time this particular guy that is getting paroled ever acknowledged my father's children at the courthouse. And we were there every single day. We went through the courthouse. We went to the trial every day. There's no reason why we would not do everything in our powers to be there. The lateness of the notice of when the hearing was absolutely disrespectful, and there was no way any one of us could be there.
The pending release of the murder convicts, according to relatives of the victims, has only caused further pain for families still struggling to cope with the death of their loved one some 20 years later. For the disconsolated daughter, she makes it clear that it is difficult to come to terms with the gnawing truth that an individual who robbed her of her father and a precious loved one to an extended family will soon be a free man. Lucia Alfred, HTS News Force.